From the Athens Tech Studios, this is the Athens-Clarke County Cast, covering the latest stories that affect you in and around Athens. Now, let's give you our top stories.
Hello and welcome to the Athens-Clarke County Cast. That's our new name, Athens-Clarke County Cast, one of Feedspot's top 20 Georgia news podcasts. My name is Melissa Carter, and if you have the desire to help charities in Athens, but not sure which one is the right fit, well, then you'll want to hear my interview with Sarah McKinney, who is president and CEO of Athens Area Community Foundation. She can help you out. But first, here are your top stories brought to you by Drake Realty. Athens-Clarke County Police responded to a fight and shooting on the 100 block of Hickman Drive earlier this month. Officers found a female victim with head injuries, indicating that she had been struck multiple times with a pistol. Police also discovered 27-year-old Tyshawn Davis of Athens with a gunshot wound. Davis, identified as the assailant, was charged with aggravated assault, firearm possession during a crime, and battery. After hospital treatment, Davis was taken to Clarke County Jail. Witnesses reported that 28-year-old Byron Smith of Athens shot Davis before fleeing. Smith faces aggravated assault and firearm charges, but remains at large. This from Fox 5. An Athens man, Rashard Blackshear, entered a guilty plea in Clarke County Superior Court for 3 felonies and 3 misdemeanors from a burglary last September. The plea deal, negotiated by District Attorney Deborah Gonzalez and Assistant Public Defender Matthew Lester, proposed a 7-year prison sentence. However, earlier this month, Superior Court Judge Lisa Lott rejected the deal, instead imposing a 20-year sentence. Blackshear, who has over a dozen felony convictions, exercised his right to withdraw the plea. He now faces a potential jury trial on the pending charges. This from the Athens Banner-Herald. Pro-choice advocates from Indivisible Georgia 10 are organizing a series of rallies in Athens and surrounding areas to mark 2 years since the overturning of Roe v. Wade. The Athens rally is set for Monday from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Baxter Street and Alps Road. An additional rally will take place today in Watkinsville. This from WUGA. Are you someone who has made the commitment to be more giving, to be more charitable with your money? Well, we're going to talk to Sarah McKinney, who is president and CEO of the Athens Area Community Foundation, and she just may be the person to talk to when it comes to charitable giving. That's coming up next.
A new, exciting podcast about dads for dads. Legacy Makers, a conversation for dads. Download now wherever you get your podcasts.
It pays to know your doctor. It pays to know your lawyer. And now more than ever, it pays to know your local real estate professional. Hi, I'm Jeffrey Drake with Drake Realty, and we have 7 offices in the metro Atlanta area, including 2 right here in Cobb County and 1 at Lake Oconee. I'm the proud leader of over 700 agents here in Georgia, and we pride ourselves in professional service, whether you are the buyer or the seller. Drake Realty makes the home buying process seamless from contract to close. Our agents are a little different. They're not pushing for the quick sale and close. They are pushing for the best price and terms for their client. In other words, Drake Realty fights for you. Now's the time to buy that dream home, vacation home, or new home your family deserves. A lot of real estate agents talk big. Let my team at Drake Realty prove they will fight for you. I'm Jeffrey Drake, and I'd be honored to have my team serve you. Visit us online at drakerealty.com. And remember, it's not how quick you sell or buy, it's what the deal provides for your future.
Achieve more with Athens Tech. At Athens Technical College, their programs can connect you with in-demand and high-paying careers.
I graduated from Athens Tech in May and started my job 2 weeks later. I had the job before I left, thanks to my professor, and just focusing on growing a career.
As far as Athens Tech, I think I've been a member of the advisory panel for 10 years now, and it's been an awesome experience.
I'm currently going to Athens Tech. I started out as an accounting major. I've finished all my accounting classes and then switched over to the culinary and baking program.
My name is Alex Lang. I'm an electromechanical engineering student. This is my second year at Athens Tech, and I graduate in December. The long-term goal is to work for the railroad, whether that be Norfolk Southern or CSX.
Achieve more with Athens Tech. Find out more at athenstech.edu.
So I'm here with Sarah McKinney, who's president and CEO of the Athens Area Community Foundation. Sarah, thanks so much for being part of the podcast.
Thank you for having me on, Melissa.
I want to highlight this foundation because I'm so impressed. But for those who don't know what the Athens Area Community Foundation is, Please explain.
Melissa, it is an honor to lead this community's foundation, and that's the big takeaway. We are the foundation for the community, and if we do anything well on any given day, we're growing giving for the community that we all love.
I mean, that to me, that's what's impressive about this. If you go to your website, you'll see stories from people who've been involved. It's AthensAreaCF.org. Did I get that correct?
You nailed it.
All right, AthensAreaCF.org. And again, there are community stories that I love. So basically, if you wanted to be the person who says, hey, you know what, I want a legacy of giving back. I really want to give back. Or if you're someone who doesn't know how to give back, I think the Athens Area Community Foundation is a great resource. So explain how that would work.
You know, I'm often, people look at me puzzled when they say, what do you mean folks don't know how to give back? And here's the problem that is also a wonderful problem to have in our community. There are 592 registered nonprofits in Athens-Clarke County alone.
Wow.
I think that is a wonderful problem, if you will, to have. A problem being that There's a lot of nonprofits to know. The wonderful being there are an incredible number of committed organizations to arts and culture, health and well-being, education, positive youth development, sidewalks, puppies and kittens, you name it. There are a multitude of incredible nonprofits doing amazing work, and that's just Athens-Clarke County. In the 6 counties that we serve, Melissa, there's more than 2,000 nonprofits. And I think what the Athens Area Community Foundation can do extraordinarily well is be a community leader, a trusted partner for local organizations like those nonprofits, and also a philanthropic guide coming alongside individuals, families, and businesses and providing a trusted compass for being your very best giver. And so that is a wonderful problem to have, not knowing where to give. And if you have questions about how, where, why, and when you should give, the Athens Area Community Foundation is just literally pumped to have a conversation with you.
See, I love that. I love that you use the word compass because I have a friend who loves animals more than she loves human beings. Yeah. So let's say she says, you know what, I want to help animals, but I don't know how to do it. So she would contact you and then you would put her in touch or help facilitate her being able to give to charities that fund animals, correct?
And there's plenty of them in the area. I mean, you've got your wonderful Sweet Olive Farm in Winterville, your Humane Society. If anybody's not been there, it's incredible, over off of Mitchell Bridge. And then there are foster and adoption organizations. So yes, there is multitudes of nonprofits to consider when giving to the animals that you so deeply love. And we'd love to be a compass for where should I give and when.
So, Sarah, how does it work when it comes to the money and how are you funded? You know, right? So if I was giving the money, let's say I wanted to help foster kids, and that's what my area of focus would want to be on. And I come to you and you help me facilitate that. How do you get funded along with the other charities that would be helped through this?
Super question about how we get funded. And this is where I often will liken the work that we do to that of the private industry, banking as an example. Many of the products that we're able to offer as a nonprofit, a donor advised fund is one example, are actually made available through commercial gift funds at places like Vanguard, Raymond James, Merrill Lynch, you name it. We also offer those products, and both institutions, private and nonprofit like our community foundation, will fee the funds that we manage. So let's say Melissa Carter opens a fund to benefit puppies and kittens. We're going to manage your Carter Family Fund at the Community Foundation, and we'll take a small fee off that fund, just like an investment manager would if it was in the commercial sector. The big value proposition becomes that the Community Foundation, we are going to do incredible work in the community from a leadership standpoint, from a training standpoint. We're going to make sure you see the value of your dollar when it's being feed in your fund. What is the Community Foundation doing to make a difference? And so that's our big value proposition is our community leadership. And leadership is as much learning and listening as it is doing. And so as a staff, we spend a great deal of time out and about in a community learning and listening, and then leading in spaces like nonprofit capacity building, trainings, board development training sessions that we do, consulting services on the side for nonprofits. We want to be a resource for the community, and that fee that we charge your fund is doing just that.
I'm about to tell you a story, and I promise it will come back to how you benefit the community. I was thinking just yesterday as I was eating lunch, right? that, oh, I got my food fixed. I get a chance to sit down in front of the television and I'm going to watch something as I'm eating my lunch. Well, by the time I finally picked something to eat, to watch, my food was pretty much done, right? Yeah. So I'm eating as I'm going through the vast choices I have. Now, it's a good problem to have, like you said, even in entertainment, to have all these choices. But at the same time, I think as viewers, it keeps us from being in the community we used to do with fewer choices, right? Not all of us are watching the same thing anymore. Sometimes I get overwhelmed by, you know what, I just wish that the choice was made for me, or I don't know, there was an easier path to go down. And I know that sounds very spoiled, but when it comes to what you do, it's the same feeling. It's the
exact same feeling. Yeah. That's a perfect example. And we're all busy. All humans are busy, and people want to be generous. And one of my favorite quotes I just heard was that we all can be generous. We all have time, which is finite, and we all have love, which is infinite. And some of us have the resources to give monetarily. And at the Community Foundation, we're going to come alongside that generosity and help you feel and be the very best giver possible. So just like some people need a CPA, just like some people need an investment advisor, we are your philanthropic advisor. But we believe that everybody has the potential to be generous. And so we want to mobilize, inspire the very best generosity in our community possible, and help the people who have the capacity to give feel extraordinary about their giving.
Well, the other thing I thought about too is for the charity that many people may not be familiar with, this is such a benefit for them to kind of be on the roster, because I would be happy to donate to a charity that fits my needs that, you know, there may be no other way that I've learned about them except through you.
That's exactly right. And we get to work with so many amazing nonprofits. And in fact, many local nonprofits also have funds with us. When you look at our website, you'll notice that we steward funds for places like The Cottage, Project Safe, Children's First, the Council on Aging, Food Bank, Extra Special People. Those are all nonprofits who have some monies to invest wisely. They may be for capital campaigns or for operating emergencies, but just like local philanthropists have come alongside us, an incredible group of nonprofits in our community have come alongside us. At the end of the day, I think about our community 100 years from now, long past the time that we're walking this planet. And it's how do we grow a resource, which is our community's foundation, that will be here, alive, and giving long past the time that I get the chance to be a part of this planet. So it's a real honor. Anytime I get an opportunity to talk about it like I'm with you today, Melissa, I'm thankful.
Oh, I love it. Well, again, Sarah McKinney, who is the president and CEO of the Athens Area Community Foundation. And again, the website is athensareacf.org. I assume that's the place if people want to give or want to be a part of your, like I said, roster, your list, or introduce themselves as a new charity. I assume that's the place they need to go.
They got it, and all our contact information is there. And if people say, well, how do I get started? I always say there's 3 steps. Let's talk. Let's make a plan, and let us help you feel great about your gift.
Fantastic. AthensAreaCF.org. Sarah McKinney, thank you for your time, and best of luck, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Melissa.
Learn how to succeed and win big in life, plus much, much more. Listen to the Red Hot Read podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Athens Banner-Herald Facebook page, an Athens Commission Committee has voted to send forward a proposal to allow neighborhoods to fund traffic calming devices on their streets. Michael Buchholz said, how many could have been funded with the $2.5 million wasted on the homeless camp? Deborah Arnbald responded by saying, we're still waiting on that audit. In the meantime, Charles Hardy is arrested once again for assault and battery. And then Joe Williams said, didn't they do this about 30 years ago, Cedar Creek? Landmark Properties is nearing completion of City Food Hall at the Mark, Athens, near the University of Georgia campus. Spanning over 19,000 square feet, this new food hall will feature 10 chef-driven food concepts, a full-service bar, golf simulators, and interactive games. The grand opening is set for fall of next year. Developed in 2017 and 2022, the Mark Athens offers student housing, retail, and office space. This from Rebusiness Online. In sports from the Athens Banner-Herald, Georgia Dogs, and the Red and Black, Athens Christian has decided to move out of the Georgia High School Association and into the Georgia Independent Athletic Association for the 2024 through 2026 athletic calendar. A total of 371 University of Georgia student athletes were named to the J. Reed Parker Director of Athletics Honor Roll after earning a grade point average of 3.0 or higher for the 2024 spring semester. Of the 371 student athletes, 22 garnered Presidential Scholar honors for finishing the semester with a perfect 4.0 GPA while taking 14 or more hours. And in baseball, Georgia has one of its significant portal entries as left-hander Jarvis Evans entered the transfer portal this week. And finally, the Athens-Clarke County Leisure Services Department is set to unveil a new inclusive playground at Sandy Creek Park on July 3rd. The ribbon-cutting ceremony will begin at 10 a.m. at 400 Bob Holman Road, and all families are encouraged to attend. Admission will be free for children 12 and under on this special day. Designed to be accessible for children of all abilities, the playground features many things, including a static-free roller slide, signage in Braille and ASL communication boards, a quiet corner sensory space, and a rocking boat for mobility device users. This project, part of the SPLOS 2011 initiative, represents a collaborative effort between the user group, citizens, and SPLOS staff. This from ACC.gov.
Thanks for listening to the Athens-Clarke County Cast. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. All rights reserved.
This podcast aggregate content from other sources for informational purposes and is in no way trying to infringe on the copyrights or businesses of any other entities. All content posted up on the site is used under the Fair Use Copyright Law 107. All audio, media, and articles are copyrighted to the original owners. All audio on this podcast are embedded from YouTube.com and are owned by the respective copyright owners. No audio information are copyrighted or stored on our servers. The court ruled that linking or embedding copyrighted videos is not copyright infringement, even if the source video was uploaded without permission. However, we will gladly remove any audio clip upon valid request from respective copyright owners. Any owners also have the option to disable embedding his YouTube videos on other websites. News and press articles are owned by the respective copyright owners. Where possible, the appropriate accreditation or source of the article is given on the same page. The audio-video files on the site are for listening purposes only. Downloading of these files to one's computer is strictly prohibited. They are owned by the respective copyright owners. If it is in the organization's belief that the usage or specific content used on our site containing copyrighted knowledge conflicts with authorized use and or does not comply with fair use as described in the context, contact us through our contact page and we will remove the offending content immediately. Thanks for listening to the Athens-Clarke County Cast.